Davante Adams, who is now requesting a trade from the Las Vegas Raiders, does not want to be a part of that team, and I'm shocked. They have no shot at the playoffs, and they don't have a quarterback.
Either quarterback. I've actually
Yeah,
been begging for Aiden O'Connell to come in. What world am I living in?
it was reported on today. One of the options, or what he's interested in, one of the premier obvious ones, the Saints, because of Derek Carr, who
Yeah.
is his college quarterback. It's going to be difficult to bring him in because of the cap hit that they're going to be taking on, which is about 13 million. Raiders are looking for a second rounder, which is totally feasible. Like, that's totally movable for a veteran receiver.
It's a deal for Davante
Right.
Adams.
For the quality of guy that they're going to be getting. As somebody who has Davante Adams in fantasy, I'm very excited because now I know that he's been doing like steady. He's been doing pretty good. I think that his production is going to skyrocket. What are your first two teams that come to mind that you want to see Davante Adams on?
Yeah, cap off the table. It's Bills and Chiefs. They both need help in wide out, and if they have some nice money restructuring, then if they got it done, they would be immediate Super Bowl favorites. Either one of them, actually. But when we're working within the teams that have the cap availability, I look at the Green Bay Packers and I look at the Washington Commanders. Why not? If I'm the Washington Commanders, I'll go with them first. Why not bet on the hot hand a little bit? You're winning games. The offense is very fun, very dynamic. And give Jaden Daniels another weapon on the outside. That's fine. Terry's great. Luke McCaffrey's been better than I expected. De'Ami Brown is still kind of a non-factor. It's the run game, and it's Daniels making the right decisions. But if you can add a playmaker, add him. Why not? Take control of the division. You're in first place right now for the first time I can remember in a billion years. And for the Packers, hometown favorite. I think Jordan Love needs a true elite wideout. Romeo Doubs is fine. Dontavius Wicks is fine. Christian Watson perennially banged up. Thanks. Good draft pick, Anderson. But
Say Watts or Watson?
Watson.
Oh, it sounded like you said Watts.
Bringing and Jaden Reed's solid. He's solid.
He's turning into a good player.
But bringing in Davante Adams, a veteran presence with all those young wide receivers that are talented and good, I think he could actually help become an impact player and a mentor for them. Big time fan of either of those two destinations who have the cap space at the current moment.
I like the thought of the Packers because I think that the Packers have, and this has been talked about, they have a lot of stars, but they don't have a star, but they've got a lot of different guys that fit different roles. That was what was talked about coming into the preseason, and it's kind of working really well for them. But I would argue if they want to really take that next step and really get over the top, bringing back Davante Adams is going to help them do so. He leaves on awkward terms, and it was in a spot where there wasn't certainty in the future. Now we know what the future is. Jordan Love is phenomenal. He has so much youth that he brings to this team. He's aggressive. He's going to find you. He's going to get you the football.
Yeah.
He would be a premier leader in that receiving group. I just don't know if that comes to fruition because of his history and connection with that team. I don't know what the relationship is like in that situation. I think, though, the Saints, I really love the idea of the Saints. I know that was brought up as one of his preferred teams today. I love the idea of him returning and playing with Derek Carr. I forget what his production was when he was playing with Derek Carr for that one season.
I think 2 years ago he was an All-Pro. Maybe two. I think he got an All-Pro bid in Vegas, if I'm remembering correctly. I think Pro Football Talk added that into one of their articles about him, but he did find good success and great numbers in Vegas, especially when Derek Carr had that insane start to the year where he was just chucking it up to everybody.
Yeah, he had that one season 100 yards for 100 receptions for 1,500 yards and 14 touchdowns. He had a tremendous year, and I think that Davante Adams is kind of clearly one of those guys that he succeeds when he's with somebody that he likes at quarterback.
Yes.
He falls into, and I know some people might not want to admit this, but he falls into the category of the Odells, the Stephon Diggs, the DeAndre Hopkins of the world, that they don't like the quarterback. They kind of get pissy. They throw a fit. It's the superstar receiver mentality. It's just a position where, I don't think any position group when we played in college had more walk-offs off of practices than the receiver position. It is a position that typically when you're not getting the ball, you get frustrated, which is why you need to have a good relationship with the quarterback. So him going back to the Jets, I don't know if that can come to fruition. I think that would be really hard. Plus, it's
Jets have 16 million available right
Oh,
now.
so maybe that one could make sense. That's the
What
second one that I would
what
push
about the
for.
big Mike Williams signing where they got him to come with a big sandwich in the
Hey
offseason?
man,
That
don't
was
shit on the Taylor ham egg and cheese that got
I
him to sign.
I wasn't, but where's that production? Rodgers is only going to throw to Allen Lazard and maybe Davante Adams. So if
Mhm.
you want it to work, maybe ship off Garrett Wilson, clear up some more space. I don't know what they're doing in New York.
I love the God, man. You're trying to get rid of Garrett Wilson as like their best young player. I really love the idea though of him coming back and playing with Derek Carr because there's clearly a connection when they get to play with one another. They've known each other since college. The Saints could be a really strong team this year. They lack stars. Chris Olave, I saw today as like the best receiver in the NFL in terms of creating separation. So like he's been good and his production has been improving, but they need somebody, man. Like there's just Raheem Shaheed is fun, like that's great, but like we need something more.
What about Taysom Hill? You don't think Taysom Hill is a star? So sick of him. I am so.
I was gonna call him a word, but I'm not gonna do it.
You and me are gonna throw a party when he retires. We're gonna
Oh,
rent.
yeah.
We're gonna get a section in the club, and we're gonna get bottle service. And every time the bottle
Why do you
comes
hate him
out,
so
it's
much?
gonna say F Taysom Hill
Why do you hate
because
him so much?
I just hate him. He's a player that I've grown to really despise, especially because nobody can stop this goofball from running the rock. Nobody.
Um, Considering that that's one of their few options, they really do need to go get somebody. Like out of any of the teams that we're bringing up, Commanders feels weird that you brought them up now that you say that. And Ryan said that your picks stink. By the way, if you
Okay.
didn't see that, I can't think of another team that's in a better position to win their division that is clearly the weakest at receiver. Like in more of a desperate situation to need a receiver because the Packers have it figured out and they're working with what they got and it works for the way that they're trying to play offense. The Jets do have Garrett Wilson and Mike Williams. Cowboys, they're out of this apparently. They still have CD Lamb and an aging Brandon Cooks. Like they feel like they all have something to turn to.
How frustrating.
Saints don't have that.
How frustrating are the Cowboys? I know that the Saints that
I don't
would
think
be
they
a
have
real
money to go get him.
Oh, no. They got the money. I'm seeing right now they got 23 million per over the cap. That's where I'm getting my cap information from, everybody. I'm not sitting here doing the Ryan Poles bit where I'm making my own caps and playing GM in my spare time. The Cowboys fans should be legitimately furious with their organization. Sending Dak Prescott, who you just paid out there with all that money. If you were going to say, Dak Prescott, we're not going to pay you, we're going to make a prove-it year for you, and you have to go out and make all your wide receivers better, and you're going to have to win us a bunch of games, and then we pay you, maybe I'd understand the direction. But you paid him. You paid CD Lamb. You didn't bring in a running back. You don't draft that well, so at least on the defense. You're getting picked apart. Why not make a play for Davante Adams and actually have a team that can compete in the NFC East? Or else they're just going to be 8-8 this year. 8-9. It makes too much sense. Cowboys fans should be absolutely livid with the direction that ownership and their GM and everybody is making with the team. Good enough isn't good enough in the NFL. You need to make legitimate strides to be great at every opportunity. Good teams become great teams when they're opportunistic, when they see something that can improve, where they can improve at and build off it and make the actual play. Sometimes it fails, sure, but for the most part, you will get respect from the fan base for making the effort. Cowboys fans should be pissed.